Welcome to Autographers Anonymous, a place where we discuss our addiction to the greatest hobby in the world. Let's go around the room.
My name is Troy Rudder, and the post office says that I have the best State of the Union address.
My name is Ben Martinez, and I'm addicted to SpongeBob SquarePants, even during the Super Bowl.
Oh, poor guy. And my name is Zane Savage, and my nipples look like milk duds. Yeah. So we're going to move on from that. As you can see, we're a little short-handed this week, but thank you for Ben for filling in here and making us have a full threesome on the podcast. So enjoy that. Before we get started, I do want to promote a new segment that we're going to have every week, and that is called Fanatic Feedback. We found out that the website is by far the best way to reach you guys, and you did great on the giveaway this episode. So Fanatic Feedback is basically a place where you can ask the show questions, and we'll set a segment aside each show to answer those questions. So if you have any questions you want to ask us, get your butts over to autographersanonymous.com. If you don't want to type all that in, graphersaa.com, and just hit Fanatic Feedback. It's on the right there. Let's start with the new returns, which will be significantly shorter without Mike. But go ahead, Troy.
All right. Got a few returns in, including a couple long ones for the Hail Marys, I guess. So first we have a 2 of 2 return from my favorite, 1991 Don Russ, Mr. Don Carmen. Oop, there we go. Signed 2 of 2 in 529 days.
Wow.
And he wrote a little letter too, which was kind of cool. So we got those. Next we have Dave Hansen, who also signed 2 of 2. Again, 1991 Don Russ. There you go.
That's
right
a
there.
hit.
So he was actually 620 days, Mr. Dave Hansen. These all came in through my old P.O. box.
Sounds like the post guy, your mailman decided to stop stealing mail and start giving it back.
Yeah, I guess they actually wrote on the thing that box closed, but I have a good relationship with the guy, and he kind of saved it. So
always pays to be on a good terms with your mailman and post office. Just that's a good one.
My post office in California, I think I mentioned this, was both Denzel Washington and the guy from Criminal Minds, Joe Mantegna is on the backdrop back there, and a few other people. They all have PO boxes there, so
that's cool.
Yeah, and then I got actually 2 different returns from Cardinals. I think it was spring training, and he's now on the Diamondbacks, Mr. Luke Weaver. So those came in. I really like the Ginter one there. Or no, that's that one. No, those aren't Ginters.
Those are gallery.
Ginters.
Gallery. Yeah, Topps gallery.
Gallery.
I like this. I like that one. And then he also signed. So yes, I actually bought some Topps Holiday last year. So here's the sparkly one. And so they both came in at the same time, which, people say, oh, don't send at the same time. Don't send to the same person twice in a year. If they sign, I don't think people care. I don't think they care. It's like they both came back. So
as long as you don't send like 6 or 8.
Yeah, right.
You're not noticeable, and not a noticeable amount.
Plus, he was switching teams, so probably just clearing out his mail.
Yeah. But also got 2 of 2 from Paul DeJong, however you say it. 231 days.
I didn't think you could sign where it looks like an auto pen, but I think you can. That proves it right there.
What?
I mean, he just signs very slowly and methodically, kind of like an auto.
Yeah, it is kind of, yeah.
It's weird.
And then 2 more here. Steven Souza. Sorry, I don't have how long this one took.
You're writing to people you can't even pronounce their name.
Shh,
Come on, man.
Don't tell my secret. Henry usually corrects me. And then Donnie DeWeese, 1-1 in 362 days via the Northwest Arkansas Naturals.
Oh, that's a Chrome card. Did you know you can actually prep cards?
You know, I read that somewhere.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Now you know.
But this one, I'm not a big prepper, and this one still, he signed it pretty well there. I also had a couple purchases to fill in on my 91 Don Russ, just because I sent out, I think each one of these people I've sent out 2 or 3 times and haven't gotten anything. So got a Lance Parrish MVP and who's that? Danny Darwin MVP and Greg Colbrun, just regular rated rookie, it looks like there. So in addition to that, today, I got, oh, that's going to throw off my camera. Ooh, look at that. White balance, baby. Autograph of the Month Club, and I have not opened this yet. So we're doing this live. Well, for the YouTube.
Words to yourself. We want to be a kids-friendly podcast.
So this is a good opportunity to tell everybody that if you're listening to this on iTunes, we do record the shows live on YouTube. So if you want to see us do this live, just keep an eye out for the alerts. Go to Autographers Anonymous on YouTube and subscribe, and make sure you hit the alarm bell so you're notified every time the live stream starts. So I have no idea who this is. I didn't know who last month's was either.
We'll see if we can help you out.
So you take it out of the thing and you get another envelope. Oh,
the envelope, please.
They do package these really well.
Oh yeah, you should have pre-prepped this. Like I forgot. One of the things, the number one thing on YouTube not to do is like, I'm going to open this live.
This is great video.
To be opened live.
So you guys are going to see it before I do. Okay. Is it upside down?
Oh, dude, Marvel.
It has a thing on it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who is it?
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Who is it?
It's Luke Cage.
Yeah, the guy who plays Luke Cage.
That's pretty sweet.
Mick Coulter is an American actor best known for his roles as Lemond Bishop in the TV series The Good Wife and Luke Cage in Marvel's Luke Cage, The Defenders, and Jessica Jones. So that is February's Autograph of the Month Club standard autograph right there.
How much did you pay for the membership?
Let's see. I think it was like 50 something. I don't know. I didn't have that prep since we talked about it in the other video. So
okay.
But their shipping is actually going up just because all prices went up.
Yeah.
It's $350 in the US for in addition to that. So with that Autograph of the Month, you actually pay a subscription for the autographs, but then the shipping is kind of separate, and so they combine it together. But
sounds convoluted, but they get some cool stuff. I mean, Luke Cage is a really sweet signature. Anything Marvel sells. So
that is February's update, and that is pretty much all I got for this week. So,
all right, Benny boy, what'd you get?
0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got 0.
Oh, there you go.
Chris Novoselic last show. If I didn't, I got Chris Novoselic on my little puny cards that I thought would work, but didn't. So I don't remember if I mentioned that last show, but now you know. Let's move on to our topic. And we got a big old fat PHAT topic because we don't have Mike here to fill in all the time with all the returns. So we got to fill it up with actual conversing about autographs. Let's see how this goes. We're going to talk about the future of autograph collecting. And I think we actually talked about this on Autograph Weekly back in the day. Maybe it was even like one of the or post Autograph Weekly shows. It was like a bi-weekly show we did on YouTube. But we're going to go into it in depth. So the future of autograph collecting, a lot of people obviously think it's going digital. I see it almost as the same problem you have with like music, where There's obviously going to be people that just download their music from here on out. They're not going to own any physical media because it's a burden and takes up space. But then you're also going to have a pretty large chunk of people who enjoy having that physical media in their hand and are nostalgic for it. It's got a gives you a good feeling when you can pick something up and actually know that like a celebrity touched it. People have that same relationship with physical media when it comes to DVDs, 2000, no, Blu-rays and physical media. What do you guys think? Do you think it's kind of a good comparison how things are kind of phasing out on the autograph end? And I think actually autographs, I think down the line will be rarer because people won't ask for them as much and maybe worth more. We'll see. I don't know. Kind of a philosophy.
Yeah. You know, I've seen this question comes up about every 2 years or something like, is this going to be the year that it's the death of the autograph and the rise of the selfie? And I still think autographs will be around for a long time. There's still a lot of money for the celebrities to be made. You know, the star of Arrow, for example, he makes more on conventions than he does actually on the show. You know, he had an article in USA Today a year or so ago about that. And, you know, things do change, and selfies where you used to be able to go to a convention and get something signed and they said, oh yeah, take a selfie in addition to, I mean, now you're seeing the right, especially in the last year or two of the autograph is $60.
Yep.
But if you want a selfie, that's only 20. So they're catching on to the charge for the selfies. And so whether that pays any value to whether it's going to go one way or another, I'm not sure. But I really think that autograph collecting, especially when you look at YouTube and Instagram lately, like I see more collectors out there now rather than selfie collectors, because you're still very limited by your geographical region and your amount of money you can spend to go out to places unless you live in a Chicago or a LA. So I think autograph collecting is going to stay around a long time. And just because there's so much more social media around it, and there's so many collectors still getting started. Like I get emails almost every day about people that are just starting TTMing. And yeah, I mean, there are people who will just do selfies, but that, when you compare the prices, I think selfies are going to be more expensive than collecting autographs.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about it, back in like the 20s and 30s, when autograph collecting really hit its boom with autograph books and stuff like that, it was something the general public did. It was something that if you had a fair come to town, for instance, the world's tallest man, I think his name was Robert Wadlow. He would come to the fairs around my area, and several people met him and got his autograph and autograph books and things like that. It's just what you did when you met a celebrity. They didn't have phones back then. And I think what I'm talking about is the everyday person that's not a collector, but wants to collect something from a meeting with a celebrity is going to go to the photo almost every time now. They don't go to the autograph. It takes a certain kind of person that's a collector to do the autograph now. And that's what I'm talking about, the sea change. Obviously, like I said, there's people that love vinyl. There's people that love VHS for some ungodly reason. So there's always going to be a crowd for autograph collecting, and it could have a giant, healthy fan base. But my point is, if I think of the average Joe Schmo, the average guy, the average girl, they're going to go for the photo. Now it's definitely converted to the photo now that we have phones.
I agree. I think it's also just an age thing too. Younger people probably go for the photo because that's what kind of they want to do. They want to share it on social media,
show
off basically, like on Instagram, like, hey, look, I met this person. But like older people definitely want the autograph to prove people, like even maybe some people prefer personalized just for like, say, hey, I met this person and look, they dedicated this to me, this autograph. So, but I think I think my opinion is kind of a combination of both of you. I think it just like it's definitely there's people that it's suited for and not suited for, kind of like vinyl versus digital. But also, I think it's going to be around because it makes enough money. Like PSA makes huge money every year. That just because people want to know if it's real or not. So
I think that's another market, though. That's a lot of the stuff they do
Yeah.
is history. They obviously do signings where they're present for the signing. But that brings us actually to our first topic is celebrities charging and how this change is going to affect celebrities charging for their autograph. Because right now, in the last, like Troy said, in the last several years, you see people basing their entire income once they're done with the business, and sometimes when they're still in the business, basing the majority of their income on autograph collecting and conventions, and that comes with some money from photos too. But um, as this progresses more toward photos, I feel the general public going toward photos. Do you think that's going to increase the price of an autograph, or will it become like Troy said? They're charging 60 for an autograph and 20 for a photo. Majority of people went for the photo. If people stop asking for the autograph as much, they're going to be like, "Yeah, if you want an autograph, it's $20, and the photo is going to be 60 because then I can share that." I think it's going to swing the other way.
I think this doesn't really answer your specific question, but when I was at Gallifrey convention a couple of years ago, and John Hurt was there right before he passed away, they actually had, if I remember this right, because one of the pet peeves of mine is, I'm not going to stand in line for an hour and a half, 2 hours for an autograph, even unless it's someone I really want. And so the reason the line's that long is because of the people who only want a selfie or only want to say hi,
Right.
that type of thing. And so they actually, if I remember right, they actually had two different lines, one for people who had bought the photo at the table and wanted the autograph, and then another time was for the selfies and everything. And I think that would be a smart move for the conventions to start doing, just to move people through, exchange the money faster and stuff like that. But whether it'll up the price of an autograph, that's such a
rarity, I guess. That would be the only reason.
Yeah.
But using your conventional wisdom of it maybe wouldn't be wanted as much as a photo, supply and demand. If it's not in demand, then the price would go down.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's also a resellable commodity. So you got to think about it that way. You can't sell a selfie after you get it, but you can sell an autograph. So that also comes into play. Maybe they'll meet in the middle where it'd be the same price.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they're probably gonna meet in the middle, same place, because I think I don't know where I saw it, but it's just like it was like a convention. It was like autographs 40, selfies 40. So I think they might meet in the middle just to, I don't know, appease people or make indecisive people to choose one or the other. Just like, hey, selfie or autograph? I only got $40.
And kick out the people who just want to say hi. Get out of here.
Well, you also got to think when it comes to some of the digital stuff. Right now, we're seeing a lot of different companies start up, like Cameo, where you can get a video from your favorite person sent to you saying pretty much whatever you want, as long as it's not, naughty. And that's almost like instant gratification for a interaction with a celebrity. So you hit a button, pay some money, and you get an interaction with a celebrity. I feel like that is going to be the future. Maybe not totally video form. It could, may catch on more in the photo realm. Well, I don't know how that would work. I guess it'd have to be video because I have to talk. If it's photo, it'd be just Photoshop anything on there, and it wouldn't be from the celebrity. But you go ahead and talk about that a little bit, Troy.
Yeah, I don't really know where I'd go with that per se. I've been trying to think of like when I went to VidCon the last 2 years, and they have the lines up, and I kind of agree with you guys. Whenever you had someone who wanted an autograph. Like I wanted an autograph from Hank and John Green, the Vlog brothers. But these lines, no one, when they said they were signing autographs and not doing selfies, everybody was like, I don't have anything. What do I do? Because they were all there for the selfies, you know. But I don't know if I.
It's definitely going to be something that
So.
people have to get used to, and like since so many people are basing their income on it now, I think it's a shift that they need to prepare for. I think everybody's sitting high in their hog, taking in the money now, thinking, "Oh, this is going to be great. This is something we can do until the end of time." And you know, things are going to change up, and you're going to have to adapt with the times. And I think it won't just be more convenient for the consumer; it might be more convenient for the celebrity. You know, they could sit at home and crank out several videos, and they don't even have to go to a convention and sit there all day. You know,
Right.
that's a big dedication to sit in. I mean, even as like a seller, you know, I sell autographs and I do fabric fobs. To sit in a booth and sell something all day, you know, I have to weigh that. I'm like, is it worth my time? Now, you give something to a celebrity to do on whenever they want. That's pretty appealing.
Yeah, another thing that comes into play was like I won't mention the name, but in the news today, there's a pretty big convention goer, voiceover artist that is in trouble because a lot of the videos and photos of him at convention have surfaced hugging and people of all ages, and he's kind of getting a backlash. He was actually dropped from. I mean, there's a lot of back history to it, but you know, going to conventions and doing selfies like that, and you never have real proof that, well, someone asked me to do that in this photo. And so I think doing it from your home on Cameo or something, it's a lot safer, and you're not going to be, the celebrity isn't going to be exposed to lawsuits. That's like this other section that you have to kind of think about with selfies.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that in a lot of parts of our society too. The disconnect between people, you know, social networks kind of take away phone calls and stuff like that. So you see this slowly wiping away of personal connections and broadening it to digital connections. So I see that trend just going the same way.
You mentioned it.
Somebody brought up signed virtual photos. Was that you, Troy?
I think Ben was talking about that.
Ben,
yeah,
signed virtual photos. If you want to talk a little bit about what those are, and that's another unique like mixing of the two.
Yeah, so what those are, I see some people get people IP and, you know, to take a selfie, and then on Snapchat, you know, because you can save stuff on Snapchat, you can have them just, you know, like put their autograph on using like a little, you know, just have them draw on your phone essentially, and then look, you got a signed photo with them essentially instantly like that. So you don't have to go to a Costco or a Walgreens to develop it and then get them to sign it. You can just have it, take the selfie. All right, you got 5 extra seconds, you know, scribble your autograph on it. And look, I got a signed selfie. So
I think that's probably like one of those things that's just there for the middle of the conversion, in my opinion. It's something to help out each side. I know baseball does that through the MLB. I think they had a program that did that for a while. I forget what it was called, but you could have a player sign a digital photo to you on his iPad or whatever. So I think that's one of those middlemen. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah, the digital photos. I just there was an app that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, and it just kind of tanked. So I'm not a big fan, and it is. I haven't seen that many of them, so I don't really have an opinion on them. I've never.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like it's either or. Like you're either a digital guy or you're either an autograph guy. It's hard to capture that middle market.
You know, you definitely get more. Kind of what you're touching on with social media. If you post a photo of you with someone, you get a more instant likes, I guess. You know, from your friends and stuff, and that's what keeps people on the platform, is that instant gratification of, oh, there's another like, you know. And so, yeah, the autograph apps or using Snapchat. I never thought of using the Snapchat for that. I'm not a fan, and I haven't seen that many of them like posted. So maybe I'm in the wrong age demographic. So
to round this topic up, where do you guys think we'll be in 20 years? Where do you think the hobby will be at, and what do you think will be dominant? Go ahead, Troy.
20 years. Wow. I think Betty White will still be signing autographs. No. I think it's, in all honesty, you know, I've been kind of proclaiming the use of old TTMs and autographs, but in all honesty, I think we are moving to the selfies, both in terms of technology and as well as something we've talked about here before, copyright claims on printing photos and stuff like that. I think it's only going to get worse. People being sued for printing out a photo. So I really think that we are going toward a more digital autograph, but there will always be people who have, you know, a slip of paper or go to cons. And I think that might make people more conscious of what they're collecting rather than an massive autograph collection, you know, kind of focus their collection a little more. That's
so you're saying it'll be the vinyl of today.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Basically, I think there's always going to be a market for autographs. Anything, there'll be a market for anything as long as it makes money. So, because money is king. So, but yeah, it'll definitely go more digital with the selfies for sure, especially my age group for sure. I doubt anyone my age group cares about autographs. But what I was going to say is just the market. It'll be like vinyl because vinyl is $1 billion industry. It just came back to being $1 billion industry just because the nostalgia factor. A nostalgia thing could be too, just like, hey, I see a lot of 90s nostalgia coming back now for kids our age, basically. I'm 27 if you don't know. And that's making a huge amount of money. Like Blink 182, for example, wasn't relevant but now they are again. So, as long as there's a nostalgia factor and people, let's say, I don't know, some singer goes away for 20 years, but then they come back. Oh, people want their autographs just for the nostalgia purposes. So, but the photo aspect will still be there. But I think nostalgia, and as long as there's money involved, it'll still be around. So,
all right. I think that covers that topic. We're going to go ahead and move on. And we're going to move on to the TTM tool review. And Troy's got the best named segment on our show, in my opinion. That's sarcasm. So we're going to go to Troy with this one, who has his spring training list, which some of you guys may not know about, and a little tool he picked up at Walmart. I think it was Walmart, right?
Yeah. Well, they have it everywhere, but Walmart, it was the 688 or some weird thing like they normally do. So first I want to tell people about the TTM hot list that I put together last spring training for people who do spring training TTMs. I put it together, I think it was last July after spring training was over, maybe June. And what I did was I went through every hashtag TTM success on Instagram and marked down every player that appeared on there, what color ink they signed in, whether they inscribed it with your name, whether they put a Bible verse on it, whether they put their jersey number on it, and kind of tallied all those up over the season and put together the top signers from each team. And I don't really have a graphic to show you for that, but it's at my website, ttmautograph.com/hotlist. And it's been downloaded like 2,000 times. So if you want a head start on spring training, you should probably start prepping now. And that will definitely give you a chance to find out who the top signers were. And I was very surprised that last year it was not Pat Neshek, who is the collector's collector. It was actually, I think number one was Danny Duffy of the Royals was the number one I saw. So that was kind of interesting. But so the tool I have is actually right here. Let me show it here. And you guys are going to think this is incredibly simple. Let's see. There we go. So basically what it is, it's a shoe sorter from Walmart. And what I do when I do spring training is I learned a few years ago that if you only concentrate on the players you really like, your returns are going to be a lot less. So I tend to send out everything I have for a team. And so I'll pick maybe 2 or 3 teams to do a week. And what I'll do is I'll actually fill them out and write the letters, get everything addressed. And I'll take all the TTMs from one team and I'll put the first TTM or envelope in the top and the second in the bottom, the third, and I'll go all the way down. And if I need to go back up, I start again. And then I'll do that for the next team. And so on Monday, let's say, I take the TTMs from that first bin, send those off. And then maybe on Wednesday, I'll send the next ones. And then on Friday, I'll send the next ones. And so the Monday ones we get there about on a Wednesday, and the Wednesday ones on a Friday, and the Friday ones on a Monday. And to me, it just kind of spaces them out. So you're not flooding an office, because I'm always worried that if someone sees 20 envelopes in the same handwriting and the same pen, that they're going to say, what is this guy doing? And so I try to space them out a little. And so this is how I sort for spring training when I do by team. And that way it just kind of spaces them out a little bit. And so it's a lot easier. And that top one that I have, why that has so many is it also has my hockey ones that I'm ready to send out, and those aren't really baseball, but I want to send those out the first day I do spring training. So
yeah, and you could use that for several different things, supplies, along with your envelopes, just envelopes in general. If you send multiple kinds, like some people send 8x10s and stuff like that, so that could really come in handy, especially
those,
if you have a closet.
Yeah, those are my lights there next to it. So
yeah, for your light setup. Fancy man's got a fancy light setup.
But I've used this for years, and it's never really failed. It's so simple, and you don't have to buy one of those big mail sorters from, Staples or Home Office Depot or something that are $60. This is like $6, and so this is what I use. And so yeah, you could give it a shot.
It's a nice little tip. Nice little TTM tool review. We're going to move on to our giveaway, and holy smokes, you guys did it. You guys had 10 entries. I begged you last show. I was like, for the love of God, we're giving away free stuff. Please enter. So we set up the giveaway on our website, and you guys did. You guys did 10 entries this time, and we picked a winner. So I think Ben was on here when I picked the winner, and the winner is Mike Simon. So congratulations, Mike, up in Canada. You will be getting, and I'm glad that it's in Canada, because Stacy's gonna have to ship 8x10s to Canada, so that'll be enjoyable. I am giving away this Salinas Levna, whatever. She's on Orange is the New Black, and then Ed McMahon. Certified auto. So those will be going up to you, Mike, in Canada, and Stacy will get those 8x10s out to you also. I'll make him, I promise. And thank you for entering, all 10 of you. So hopefully we can keep that that momentum going toward this week.
That's really awesome.
I want to go around the room and ask, what are you guys' best TTM/IP experiences? Let's go with Ben, because you've IP'd a ton, so you'll have IP'd a ton. You go ahead and go first, Ben.
I've never heard that before, ever. No. I guess I don't really have like a favorite story, I guess, but I just have like general experiences that I enjoy more than others. For example, I do a lot of in-person sporting events, and obviously with sporting events, there's a lot of people there, basically. So whether it be at a stadium, like a golf tournament, whatever, basically. But I just enjoy people who take their time to go out of the way and make sure they get everyone. So like I've seen, like, for example, some athletes I've seen just like, hey, did I get you? Did I get everyone? And then just like make sure they got everyone, then leave. Like they don't have to do that, I'm sure they're busy, most of them, so they got lives to do. They don't want to sit there signing autographs all day. But I mean, even though in reality it's like 10-20 minutes of their time, it's still a good amount of time. So basically I like people's like that little extra, like, hey, did I get everyone? Did I get everyone? And then they leave. So that's just kind of my favorite idea.
Right.
So
Troy.
Well, mine Mine's actually not someone uber famous. I was at Phoenix Comic-Con a few years ago for all the Babylon 5 insanity that we were doing there. I was on a few panels, and then I got to go to a few panels. But I was at we were down in the signing area, and this guy comes through the little barrier, the curtains, to go to where he was signing. And he comes through like pumping his arms like, oh, yeah. And so I looked over there and I went, yeah. And then I was like, oh, like I didn't know who he was. And so he was like, what the heck? And so he came over and like punched my arm a couple times. And then I went around and did something else. And I came back and there was nobody in his line, like nobody. And then I was like, I feel bad. And so actually it was like Virgil from the WWE. Like there was nobody at his line. And so I felt bad. And so I went up and I started to talk to him. And he signed this for me. It was David Franklin from Stargate. And what he said was, to Troy, sorry I was such a disappointment. Blah, blah, you, David Franklin. So that was pretty funny. And then as we were leaving for the end of the day, the convention, I was crossing the street outside the convention hall and I pushed the walk button and I looked across the crosswalk and there was David Franklin pushing the other walk button. And he just like sneered at me and he goes, Troy. And I go, David. And then we just walked away into the sunset. And so it was just kind of a fun interaction. And
he's your Newman.
He's my new, yeah, exactly. But it was just kind of a fun thing. And you know, it's hard to pick one, but that was it. It was a fun experience. So
I'll do an IP that's not autograph related, and I'll also do a TTM, which I will never forget, which is always cracks me up. The IP is Chris Jericho. So I went to a WWE show, got like second row seats, and when I go to a WWE event, especially if it's a house show, they'll kick you out if it's like a main show. But if it's a house show, you can have as much fun as you want. So you got drinks, you know, so you're feeling pretty good after the drinks. And I was giving everybody hell. And I really ripped into Chris Jericho because he had this like sparkly persona at the time. And I was just giving him shit for it. Pardon my French. And he actually came over to me during the match and started yelling in my face for like 15 seconds. He was tag teaming with like Lance Cade or something. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I like, you know, bantered with him back. And then, so, you know, he went back to wrestling after that. And I was like, okay, this is over with. That was a nice little, you know, end match argument I had with him. And actually Howard Finkel, who's like a legend WWE announcer, came up to me after the show and said, man, you did some really good heckling there. I was like, oh, thank you. So then I thought everything was done. Right. So I'm leaving the stadium. And we're in line, we're getting out, and all of a sudden a car pulls off out of the ramp from the tunnel. Freaking, I can see his cocked up hair. It's freaking Chris Jericho cut me off in his car as we were leaving the stadium. Not on purpose. He didn't know it was me, but it was just a coincidence. So I had a very, I don't know, a couple run-ins with Chris that night that were kind of fun. So that's my IP, but TTM, my favorite TTM story is Chuck Bednarik, who is a very good TTM signer for many years. And this one time he decided, you know what, I'm going to start charging. This is it, boys. I'm getting so many TTMs. I'm going to charge. I'm going to make millions of dollars off, you know, paying, you know, autograph, getting my money from autographs. So I sent my TTM. I think it was like 1 or 2 photos. Get the photos back unsigned. So I'm like, oh man, there's a letter. Not only a letter written on the front and the back explaining to me why I cannot have his autograph for free. I'm like, dude, this is like so much better than like a normal autograph. I have a letter from you now explaining why you can't give autographs for free.
Handwritten?
Huh?
Or what was it, handwritten or typed or?
I think mine was a handwritten, but his was handwritten also. Yeah,
that's what I meant. Like your letter, it was handwritten.
Back. It was totally handwritten letter front and back. I loved it. I got it back. I was like, this is amazing. Like this guy expected me to be like, oh man, no autograph. I was just like, this is super unique. I love this crap, man. So that's my favorite teach. That's the one that sticks out in my mind the most.
That's a good story. Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Chuck. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he passed away. That famous picture of him standing over, I forget who it was. That's one of the best pictures of all time, NFL history. So I'm going to read off some experiences here. There's so many. So Roger said he made a few custom cards for a collector that he was going to send to, I'm going to butcher the name, Borje Salming. I think he got a response from Borje himself, who wanted an example of each card. So Roger printed out 18 cards for him to send to Borje. Sorry, I'm trying to make sense of this. And he also made 5 copies when he sent to a Swedish women's national team. So basically, he sent custom cards, and the celebrities wanted copies of the custom cards to be used back. That's what I'm getting from this, which is kind of cool. And we're going to move to the next one. So this actually is about Raymond Berry, who's a very... Did he pass away? Is he still kicking? He's a Hall of Fame football player. Anyways, he's one of the best signers in football. He wrote to Raymond Berry, sending just an index card. And the letter, he talked about his family and mentioned his 2 girls and their ages. 10 days later, he sends a package back with a card and a small photo signed, along with a note on the index card saying, when I saw that you had 2 little girls, I had to send them something. Also in the package was 2 DVDs. And we've seen this happen before. People send and get DVDs and stuff back, extra stuff. Now that would have been awesome enough, but he noticed the return address sticker was his phone number. Brad thought about it for a few minutes, decided to call him and thank him for being so kind. Says, when I called, I got the answering machine, so I left a detailed message and did not leave my phone number. The next day, when I got home from work, the wife was on the phone. She frantically tried to get my attention, saying, "It's Mr. Berry." So he talked to Mr. Berry for over an hour and a half. Not only that, but we corresponded for several months afterwards. He is absolutely the nicest person I had the pleasure to talking to. And we know that, like, he signs so much stuff. He'll sign everything you send. If he's still, I feel bad.
He's alive.
He's alive. Okay,
yeah.
Well, he's a TTM legend.
Yeah, he has over almost 200 successes on Star Tiger. So
yeah, he's definitely a TTM legend. So TTM, Brad got the long shots he acquired. TTM were Bart Starr on an 8x10 for free, Joe Montana on a football card. I got Joe Montana on 8x10 back when I was a kid. For free, TTM.
Is it real?
Huh?
Is it real?
Yeah, it matched up with the Authentics. I don't remember where I sent it, but it was a long time ago. I don't know. I mean, now they got me questioning it because, like, it was so long ago. I mean, I sold it like a year or 2 after I got it because I moved and I had needed money. The story of why everybody sells their stuff.
Yeah.
So he also got Jerry Rice on a card, no donation. Lynn Swan on an index card. Lance Allworth on an index card. Staubach. I think Stacy. Did Stacy get him or what?
Yeah, I think Stacy did.
And then IP. He was really big into wrestling. In 2003, John Cena was leaving the show with the Basham brothers. He says, he was literally driving away. And he had his T-shirt on and looked my direction, did the word life sign, acknowledged me. Shortly thereafter, he got out of the vehicle, made his way over to my direction and said, "Where my boy at?" And proceeded to grab my shirt, sign it, and leave. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to roll through these fast. That was the longest one. Dennis says his best in person was Adam West when he was growing up. He was Batman. He's the Batman. Only one, Adam West. Forget all the other guys, he says. He did a convention and he got to go see him after waiting in line for about 40 minutes and paying the $35. He was in front of him, told him that he was one of his lifetime heroes or lifelong heroes. And then he rocked back in his chair, looked at me in the eye, and shook my hand while thanking me. They still have the autograph picture. Yeah, it's always cool to keep those autographs from IP experiences, especially if you get them to put like a cool little inscription on there. I think this guy, his name is McLeod, maybe. I can't really.
Honor.
I think McLeod. I'm going with McLeod. His favorite TTM experience is Raymond Berry. Also, Raymond Berry, man, he's racking them up. What are the chances? We get 10 responses. 2 of them are Raymond Berry. And you can't see what other people wrote. So, like, that's just a total coincidence. Raymond Berry is a good dude. He wrote him in high school, and he wrote a really long letter encouraging him to do well in school, basically. Plus, he included like 3 extras. Biggest surprises for Greg Maddox and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Josh, you guys can pipe up if you have anything to say in between these. Sorry, I feel like I'm reading a script here. Josh says one of his best TTM and IP experiences would have been pro wrestler Terry Funk. He's really friendly and funny and writes long inscriptions when he signs. He met him IP and he signed a photo that was already signed by his brother Dory. And he has since sent a copy of the photo they took together and signed that with another great inscription. So that's nice. It's always fun to do, get a photo signed that you took with somebody. It's, I've never really got into that because, you know, it's double layered. You got to meet the person like twice or yeah, it's kind of a layered experience. But once you get it done, I bet it's pretty nice. Pretty good piece to have. Eric says he has a 3-way tie for super rad TTM experiences. That's not what we called it, sir. We don't use the word super rad here. We dropped that back in the 90s. These are certainly not the biggest names I've reeled in. Fingers crossed on the fake, not fake Gretzky. But the response experience from them. I always ask questions when I send out my requests. He also adds his address, email, and phone number at the bottom just in case they need it. So Jay Johnstone, Frank Bowling, and Pete Ward all called him to have a chat after they received his letter. Ward even said he'd go grab coffee and chat since they live pretty close together. They haven't grabbed the cup of coffee yet, but it's a pretty rad off. You need to cut down on your use of the word rad.
Audacious.
Pretty rad offer.
That's pretty cool.
Again, they realize they're not huge names, but to have a former player reach out and chat, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, we weren't looking for big names. We were looking for cool stories, and you supplied that. So thank you, Eric. And let's see. We got 2 more. Chase says he met Virginia Hay, IP, at a convention, and he was at her table looking at photos. She was very nice, telling stories about all of them. And there was a photo she said she only had 2 left and there was a copy shop outside the convention center that he worked for, Chase worked for. So he went and made some copies for her using his employee discount. He made some good quality copies. I don't know if you should have told us that, Chase, and you get in trouble, buddy. And she loved him so much, she signed all of his items for free and signed one of all of her photos and gave it to him. So that's all. That was good hookup. Going off what she said she was charging, we counted up $300 worth of autographs for $20 in photos.
Wow.
So that was a good score. And last one is Robert, IP experience. He just started collecting autographs. I was just starting to collect autographs. I went to an autograph show. I arrived a day ahead of time, was eating lunch in a very crowded food court at the hotel. 2 older gentlemen approached and asked if they could join me because there were no other tables. I said, sure. We ate and talked about sports. As they were leaving, I asked why they were at the hotel. I told them I was there for an autograph show. One of the gentlemen opens up his case, pulls out a photo, and both of them signed it. I didn't realize he was eating. He didn't realize he was eating lunch with Keir Duella and Gary Lockwood. I know I butchered his name, but 2 of the gentlemen had come to the show to meet. So
Nice.
Those football players or those actors?
Gary Lockwood's an actor. He was in the Star Trek pilot as well as other things, but I don't know.
Keir Duella. I think that's how you say the other name. So that's right. I think I had a Keir Duella autograph. So that's cool. That's cool to sit there and talk to him and not even know. And then like, oh, that's a nice little surprise. Okay, so those were fun, guys. I appreciate those responses. The detail too. Really enjoyed that.
Thanks for sending those in.
So you guys want to know what the heck are we giving away this week? It's a good one. I'm just gonna say it's from the Savage Library, and I'm donating it to the show. It's a Magic Johnson cut matted 8x10 autograph. So right there, a Magic Johnson cut 8x10 autograph with photo. And if you want to win that, just go to our website, click the giveaway link on the right-hand side, and answer the question. If you were a celebrity, would you sign TTM? Why or why not? So that's the question. Go answer it. We'll read some of the replies. I may not read as many next time. The personal experience tends to be a little unique, so I wanted to read as many as I could, but we'll read some next week when you guys reply. So again, if you want to win the Magic Johnson autographed 8x10 matte piece, go to our website, autographersanonymous.com, click on the giveaway tab, answer the question, boom, you're entered. It's that easy.
Cool.
And I think that's about it, fellas. Remember to also go to our website and click Fanatic Feedback to submit questions, and we'll try to answer those every show. So every 2 weeks we have a show, just in case you didn't know, and we'll answer those questions that build up in the Fanatic Feedback box, and that'll be a fun little segment because I know we had fun with that on the old Autograph Weekly show, and there were some doozy questions that rolled in. So send us your doozies. Do you guys have anything to promote?
Yeah, I'll go first. As always, my website is at ttmautograph.com, also on Facebook and Instagram at those addresses. My book is still available on Amazon, Autograph Collecting Secrets. And yeah, that's about it. And spring training is starting, so if you haven't already, subscribe and follow, because I'm sure things will start rolling.
I say it every show. Troy's book is the best TTM book in the business. So if you're into TTMing or autographs in general, please go check it out on Amazon. It's great. And I will promote, as always, my fabric fobs, which are pieces of celebrity clothing in a keychain on Etsy. Just go to Etsy and type in fabric fobs. And the Savage Library on eBay, although could be a name change coming on eBay. We'll see. More to come on that later. All right. Well, that's it for today.
Wait, did Ben have anything?
No,
nope, he said no. He shook his head no. I wasn't skipping him. I saw him shake his head.
Go get Troy's book. Go get Zane's eBay.
Yep. And fabric fobs on Etsy.
And
so that's it. That's it for today. And you take care, all of you autograph addicts.